Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a full body Pilates ball workout. I think you're gonna love this one. Let's get started. So we're going to lay on your back. You don't need the Pilates ball for these stretches. We're just gonna go straight into a hamstring stretch. So keeping your back in neutral spine, hips nice and square, and you're just gonna draw that leg towards you. You can have a soft bend in the knee if you like, else keep it nice and straight to really feel a nice stretch down the back of the leg. Again, keeping the hips nice and square and the back in neutral, so try not to let the bottom tuck up and off the mat. Inhale T-zone, exhale, see if you can draw that leg gently towards you. Like I always remind you, don't force the muscle, just let the muscle relax into the stretch. Lovely, swapping sides. Other leg, keep the hips nice and square and drawing that leg towards you. You can use the back of the thigh, the back of the calf, or some of you lucky people, even the foot. Beautiful. Inhale T-zone, exhale, see if you can stretch a little further. Remember to keep the shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Beautiful. Crossing that ankle over the opposite thigh. This may be enough to stretch out your glutes, otherwise thread the hands through, grabbing the back of the thigh and drawing the legs towards you. Also flexing this top foot to protect the knee is always a nice little tip. Again, keeping the hips nice and square and the back in neutral. Beautiful. If you don't know what I mean by your T-zone, please refer to my Pilates Basics video, which will be linked below. Let's swap sides, crossing the thigh over, crossing the foot over the thigh, flexing the foot back and drawing those legs towards you. Feeling a nice stretch through the glutes. Inhale T-zone, exhale, see if you can stretch a little further. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, we'll just grab the Pilates ball and place it in between the inner thighs, just above the knees, feet on the ground, hip width distance apart. We're just going to connect with your core. So inhale through the nose, exhale, let it go. And again, inhale through the nose, exhale, let it go. One more. Just setting an intention for today's workout. Lovely, and draw that T-zone in. Lovely, hands can relax to your side. We're going to inhale T-zone and exhale just gently using your inner thighs to squeeze on the ball and release. And again, squeezing on the ball with the exhale, inhale to release. Nice and easy to start today's workout. Just warming up all those muscles and getting in contact with your core. Exhale to squeeze on the ball. Inhale to release. Excellent. Just a few to go. Make sure your shoulders relaxing, back and down, chin is tucked in, and the back is in neutral. Like I always like to remind you, please don't work through any pain or discomfort today. We're working the whole body, but you should feel no discomfort through your back, neck, hips, or any joints. If you do, please just take a second or two to relax, reset your form, listen to my cues. If you're still feeling the discomfort, please just skip that exercise, come back to an easier exercise, or just have a little rest and wait for the next one. All right, interlace your hands behind your head, gently relaxing your head into your hands. Elbows are wide, shoulders are pulling back and down. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to curl the body up. Bring your ribs to your hips. Inhale to release. Beautiful. Keep that going. Exhale to curl the body up, using your abdominals, your abs, to curl your body up, not your arms. Elbows stay wide. Good. Keep that back in neutral. Curling the body up, using those abdominals. Exhale to curl, inhale to release. Okay, let's add a little squeeze on the ball. As you curl up, you're going to squeeze on the ball and then release as you come down. Keep those elbows wide, using your core to pull you up, not your arms. Remember to scoop the belly, keep the T-zone flat. Lovely. If you want to make this harder, you can squeeze on the ball harder, curl the body up higher. If you want to make it easier, obviously don't curl up as high and don't squeeze on the ball as hard. Beautiful, only 3 to go. Good, really using your abdominals. Keeping that back in neutral. Lovely. Let's squeeze on the ball and hold. This time we're going into oblique curls. So exhale to curl the body up, right rib cage to left hip bones, and then come back down to center. Good. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to come back down, keeping the squeeze on the ball. If you want to make it harder, squeeze on the ball a little harder, curl the body up a little higher. Beautiful. Remember to keep the elbows wide, shoulders pulling back and down. You want to use your abdominals to pull you up, not your arms. So try not to pull on your head. Try not to yank your body up with your arms. Beautiful. Couple to go. Hips should be staying still. They shouldn't be rocking side to side. T-zone should be scooped. Beautiful. One more each side. Last one. My elbows were creeping forward, I saw. All right, fabulous. Let's keep your hands above your chest. Bring the legs into tabletops, imprinted spine. Knees sit above the hips, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Now remember, your knees and feet should be hip width distance apart, or at least parallel. Okay, we're just going to inhale T-zone and squeeze on the ball. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to release. Beautiful. Keep that imprinted spine. Keep the T-zone scooped. Excellent. Exhale to squeeze on the ball. Inhale to release. Beautiful. Let's go 2 more. Next one, I want you to hold and keep that squeeze. We're going to curl the body up. Exhale to curl. Inhale to release. Beautiful. Keep that going. Exhale to curl. Inhale to release. Really stretching through the fingers. Elbows are soft, especially if you're a little bit double jointed. To make it harder, you can curl the body up higher. Squeeze on the ball harder. Just remember, shoulders are pulling back and down. Chin is tucked in. Lovely. Really scooping that T-zone. 2 to go. Last one. Come back down. Release the ball a little. This time we're going to do modified beats. We're going to inhale T-zone. Exhale, curl the body up, hands past your hips. Inhale T-zone again. Exhale, we're going to squeeze on the ball. Inhale to release. We're going to squeeze on the ball 3 times. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to release. Then coming back to your starting position. Excellent. Keep that going. Exhale to curl. Inhale T-zone. Exhale to squeeze on the ball. Inhale to release. Keep the curl. Excellent. Ribs to hips. Excellent. And coming back down. Fabulous. Keep it going. Exhale. Inhale T-zone. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to release. Scoop the belly. Keep the curl. So you're really supporting your neck. You're not back here. Nice. When you're squeezing on the ball, the legs stay parallel so your feet aren't crossing in, yeah? Keep the legs nice and parallel. Keep the scoop of the belly. Keep the T-zone tight. Fabulous. Just one more round. Well done. This time your hands can come to your knees. Please make sure you take the rest whenever you need today. Okay, next we are doing hundreds preparation with the ball between the ankles. Maybe just the shins, just above the ankles, wherever it is comfy. Legs are still tabletop. Hands are coming back to above your chest. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to curl the body up, hands past your hips as you straighten those legs up to the sky, pointing the toes. Make sure your shoulders are back and down, T-zone is scooped, and your bottom is on the mat, so your back is in neutral. Inhale to come back to that starting position. Excellent. Keep it going. Exhale, really lengthening through your fingers and toes and legs. Really lengthening those limbs. Squeezing on the ball. Lovely. Shoulders pulling back and down. Good. Scoop the belly. Keep that back imprinted. Really curling the body up, getting your ribs to hips. If you need to support your neck, you can easily do so with one hand, if that feels good for you. Really lengthening through the fingers, lengthening through the legs and toes. One more. Lovely. You can take a little rest if you like. Let's hug those knees in. Next, we are doing little frogs. So same starting position, but hands on your knees. From here, we're going to curl the body up, hands past your hips. We're going to extend the legs and turn the feet out and flex the feet back. Inhale, T-zone. Inhale, bring the legs towards you, opening the knees. Exhale, squeezing on the ball and bringing it out. Bringing it back in, little frog for 3. Inhale to bring it in. Exhale, squeezing on the ball and lengthening out. Beautiful. Bringing it back to that starting position. You have to make sure your ball stays in the correct position. Fabulous. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, curl the hands past your hips and extend the legs out, turning the feet out, extending the legs and letting the knees turn out. Inhale, bringing the ball back in, knees widen. Exhale, little frog out, flexing the feet back, squeezing on the ball. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, shoulders back and down, curl the body up. Exhale. And inhale back to that starting position. Well done. Curling it up again. Extending the legs, flexing the feet back, turning them out. Scoop the belly, make sure the back does not arch. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And bringing it back. Have you got one more in you? Let's go. T-zone is tight. Exhale, curl the body up. Extend the legs. Turn the knees out. Make sure your T-zone is flat. Squeezing on the ball. Well done. Did you feel your core? I definitely did. Okay, this time the ball is in your hands. We are bringing the legs back in tabletop, so imprinted spine. We're going into toe taps, so keeping the 90 degrees at the hips and knees. Knees and feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to keep the 90 degrees at the knee and tap the foot to the ground, 1 foot at a time. Bring it back to tabletop. The most important thing here is keeping that spine imprinted so your back does not arch as the leg goes down. Good. Exhale to lower the leg. Inhale to bring it back. Can you add a little chest press? So keeping those shoulders back and down, we're just going to squeeze on the ball as you lower the leg. Inhale to release as the leg comes back to tabletop. Exhale, squeeze on the ball. Inhale to release. Keeping that imprinted spine, keeping the rib to hip connection so the back is not arching. Shoulders staying back and down. Lovely. If you're willing to make it harder, let's squeeze the legs together. Double legs, double toe tap. Beautiful. Really keeping the ribs to hips so the back does not arch as the legs go down. Keeping the ball above your chest to work your lower chest. making sure the shoulders are pulling back and down and the chin is tucked in. Really good, only 2 to go. Well done, let's hug those knees. Last one in this position is the nutcracker. So starting in the same position, legs in tabletop, legs squeezed together. We're going to curl the body up, the hand comes between the knees, widen the legs, and then extend the legs out. Really flattening the T-zone, keeping the ribs to hips, shoulders pulling back and down. Inhale to come back to that starting position. Legs squeezed together. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, curl the body up, widen the legs, and then extending them out, keeping the T-zones flatten and the shoulders back and down. Beautiful, keep that going. Now you can widen the legs further, just as long as you're keeping the T-zone tight and the stomach is not bulging. Lovely, stay with me. We've got 4 to go. Good, really lengthening through the legs and the arms. Flattening out your T-zone. Good, have you got one more with me? Amazing, well done. Okay, we are going into your glutes. So we are keeping the ball in your hand. Feet are now on the ground, hip width distance apart. Don't make them too far out. Bring them closer to your glutes. Feet are parallel and hip width distance apart. We're going to tuck the tailbone and roll the spine off the mat 1 vertebra at a time, coming as high as you can without arching the back. So keeping that rib to hip connection. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll it back down 1 vertebra at a time. Beautiful. So inhale, T-zone, tucking the tailbone, rolling it up. Exhale. Inhale at the top. Exhale to roll it down 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale. Beautiful. Keep that going. Exhale. As high as you can without letting the back arch. Trying to get a nice straight line from the knees to the shoulders. Fabulous. Stay with me. We only got 1 to go. And we're going to hold the next one at the top. Here we're going to add a little overhead. So keeping the shoulders back and down, just lowering the ball overhead, making sure you're not arching the back. Keeping the ribs to hips, keeping the shoulders back and down. Exhale to lower. Inhale to bring the ball back to above your chest. Keeping the glutes firing, pushing through the heels. Using your glutes to lift up. Good. Let's go 3 more with control. There should be no movement through your spine. Keeping the rib to hip connection. Belly is scooped. Exhale to lower. Inhale to draw it back above your chest. Let's go 1 more. Lovely. Can you feel your glutes? All right, staying in this position, really locking in your T-zone so your hips are not rocking. You can draw one leg into the center line slightly, and then we're going to lift the other leg towards the sky, keeping the T-zone tight, hips stay nice and stable. Lowering that foot to the ground, swapping legs. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower the leg back to the ground. Exhale to lift. Again, keeping the hips nice and high and still, making sure the back does not arch. Well done. Keep them going. Keeping the hips nice and high. Glutes are working nice and hard. If this is too much, remember you can go back to just the glute, the pelvic curl, rolling the hips up off the mat, keeping both feet on the ground. Otherwise, keep those hips nice and stable. T-zone is scooped. Let's go 1 more. Beautiful. Other side. And let's roll the spine back down, one vertebra at a time. Well done. This time we're putting one foot on the ball. So we're going into your pelvic curl with one foot on the ball. So most of the weight is going to be through the foot that is on the ground. Keeping those feet hip distance apart, we're going to tuck and roll up the glutes one vertebra at a time until you're coming into that bridge position. We're going to roll it back down one vertebra at a time. Well done. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, back and down. So we're really pushing through the glute that the foot is on the ground to work that glute. And we're going to hold this position. We're going to roll that foot out, keeping the hips nice and stable, extending the leg along the ground, and then bringing it back in. Keeping the hips nice and high, nothing moves. Exhale to roll the ball out with control. Inhale to roll it back in. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Good. If you want to add on, we are going to lower the opposite arm into that overhead and then bring them back in at the same time. Beautiful. Keeping the hips nice and high. Good. Ribs to hips so you're not arching through the back. Good. You got 3 to go. Keeping the rib to hip connection, keeping the T-zone scooped. 2. You got 1. Bringing it back in and then rolling it back down one vertebra at a time. Great. Now that glute that we were working, we're rolling that glute to the top. We also need the ball. So that working glute is on the top. We are going into clams, nice straight line at the back of the mat. Elbow is under shoulder. And then we are drawing a nice straight line through the hips to the feet. Popping the ball under the ribs to keep the body up. We're not leaning on the ball. We're just using it for feedback to keep that body in a nice neutral spine. Hips are stacked. Let's squeeze those heels together. Squeeze the glutes and open the legs into a clam. Remember, we want a nice neutral spine, so no sagging. You can even pop your hands to push that top hip away. Good. Making sure the shoulders are pulling back and down. The chin is tucked in. Really firing up these outer glutes. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to lower. Exhale to squeeze. Really good. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. Squeezing the heels together. Really good. Keep that T-zone tight. Hips stay still. You can make it harder by opening the knee further as long as the hips don't roll back. Keeping everything nice and still. Keeping those shoulders pulling back and down. Are you ready to add on? So we're going to open. So inhale, open. Exhale, extend the leg in line with the body as high as you can without the hips moving. Inhale, exhale. Good. Keep everything nice and tight. And make sure the leg is no lower than hip height and in line with the rest of the body. Good. To make it harder, you can draw the leg up higher and further back. Again, as long as the hips aren't rocking all over the place. Beautiful. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. Make sure you're not sagging on the ball. Lovely. Are you feeling your glutes? I am. Lovely. Last one. Excellent. Now, if you can, at any time, also please note you can lay all the way down if you've got any tension through the upper spine and continue on. Otherwise, we are up on the elbows, ball under here. We're going to extend that top leg out and do rectangles. So exhale to go back and up, inhale to go forward and down, keeping everything super still. using that glute to do the movement. Exhale, back and up. Inhale, forward and down. Really pushing the ground away so you're not sagging. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. We're not here for long. Good. We got one more. Beautiful, and bringing it back in. Well done. Okay, we are going to lay the body all the way down so the head is resting on the arms. Again, the hips are stacked, so keep a gap between the waist and the floor. This time the ball is going behind the knee, squeezing on the ball slightly. Again, keeping that same position with the legs in line with the back of the mat. A nice straight line, feet, hips, arms, shoulder and hand. Squeezing on the ball, T-zone is tight. Exhale to lift the leg, keeping it in line with that bottom leg. Inhale to lower. The hips again should not be moving or rocking. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Beautiful. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Keeping that leg nice and parallel to the ground as you lift. And make sure you're not leading with the foot. So keeping it nice and level. Leading more with the knee than the foot. Good. Making sure that you're keeping the hips stacked, gap between the waist and the floor. Are you feeling these glutes? Good. Exhale to lift with control. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Let's go one more. Well done. All right, grabbing the ball this time, we're just going to hold onto the ball. Bringing the legs up into 90 degrees. Again, hips are stacked, gap between the waist and the floor. Squeeze the heels together. Exhale, open, 90-degree clamp. Inhale to release with control. Try not to rest at the bottom. Exhale, open, inhale to release. Exhale, open, inhale to release. Really good. Nearly there with these glutes on this side. Good. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. We got 3 to go. Make sure you're not resting at the bottom. Good. Squeezing the heels together, working those deep external hip rotators. Right in here. Exhale. Let's go one more. Hold and slowly release. Well done. Keeping that top knee at 90 degree, we're going to pop it on the ball as we extend the bottom leg out in line with the rest of the body. Okay, keeping the hips stacked. We're going to exhale, lift that bottom leg, working the inner thigh. Inhale to release. Make sure you're keeping the gap between the waist and the floor. We're working the inner thigh of that bottom leg. Good. Keeping that leg long in line with the rest of the body. Knees facing forward so the knees not rolling up or down. Good. Takes a while for these ones to kick in. Nice. Keep the T-zone scoop. Belly is flat. Good. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Are your shoulders pulling back and down? Make sure your ribs aren't flaring so the rib to hip connection is strong so the back is not arching. Good. Let's go 2 more. Hold this next one up. We're going to hold tiny, tiny little circles. Imagine you're drawing a little circle like a 2-cent piece. Tiny little circles. Beautiful. Keep the hips still. Keep the hips stacked. Keep the shoulders back and down. Let's reverse your circles. Tiny, tiny little circles. Like a diamond ring. Excellent. You're doing amazing. So good. Tiny, tiny little circles for 5. Breathing naturally for a few circles. Inhale for a few circles. Exhale for a few circles. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower that leg to the ground. Beautiful. Staying in this position. This time the ball is between the ankles, maybe the shins above the ankles. Now the legs are staying stacked. Bottom leg is reaching back long. The hips are staying stacked. T-zone is tight. We're going into your double leg lift. Now it's important to keep a nice straight line from your hands to your feet so you're not bringing them forward, making a banana shape. Nice straight line. Hips are stacked so you're not rolling forward or back. We want the ribs to hips. It's super important not to be arching your back or letting the ribs flare. Okay, inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to use your side of your waist to lift the legs. Now, when you do this, you will lose the gap between the waist and the floor. That is completely perfect. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, we're going to lift the legs using the side of the waist. Inhale to release back down. That's it. Keep these going. Now, please note, keep the hips stacked. If your hips roll forward, you will feel the lower back work more. If your hips roll back, you will feel the hip flexors work more. So really keeping the hips super stacked, using these muscles to draw up those legs. Nice work. Stay with me. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. If you want to make it harder, you can lift higher. Squeezing on the ball a little harder. Just make sure you're keeping the form and you're feeling mostly these side waist muscles. If you are feeling your back, check you're not arching. Keep the rib to hip connection. Check you're not rolling forward. Beautiful. Try not to use your arms. The arms are just resting on the ground for balance. Nice. Next one, we're going to hold at the top using the side of the waist. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to squeeze that bottom leg up towards the ball. Inhale to release slightly. Exhale to lift that bottom leg up towards the ball. Good. Beating the bottom leg up towards the ball. Keep the hips high. Keep the side of the waist working hard. Good. Keep that nice straight line. Ribs to hips. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Doing well. Keep it going. Keep the shoulders relaxing. Keep the ribs to hips. You got 3. Should be working the inner thighs. 2. 1. Slowly release back down. Nice work. We're not going anywhere yet. We're going to do scissors exactly in the same position. This time the top leg is rolling forward over the bottom and back. I'll show you. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lift. Using the side waist. Inhale to roll the leg forward slightly over the ball. Exhale to roll it back. Good. Nice little circles around the ball. Keeping the side of the waist working hard. Keep the T-zone tight. Ribs to hips. Good. Not here for long. Keep that ball. Don't lose it. If you do want to make it harder, you can lift the legs higher. You can make the scissors bigger, but just don't lose your ball. Make sure you're not using your arms. Use the side of the waist. Good. You got 3. You got 2. You got 1. Back to center and lower it back down. Well done. Doing amazing. Okay, we're going to prop yourself up. You're going to bring the hand under the shoulder. Now you may want to grab the ball and just hold it with your hand. We're going into a side plank, so we need to draw that top leg long. The bottom arm is to stay under your shoulders. You can either slide the knee out and keep the knee on the ground, or if you want to make it harder, slide that bottom leg behind the top, and we're just going to hold for 10 seconds. Shoulders are pulling back and down, ribs in, T-zone is tight. Beautiful. You're not here for long. Good. You got 5. You got 4. You got 3. You got 2. You got 1. Lowering that bottom knee. And that side is done. Well done. We're going to do that all on the other side. So we're starting with your glute bridges with the foot on the ball. So I'm now working my right glute. So left foot is on the ball. Okay, so squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone under and rolling our hips up off the mat 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll down 1 vertebra at a time. And again, roll it up. Keep the rib to hip connection so you're not arching your back at the top. Keep the hips nice and square, holding this glute bridge at the top. Now from here, we're going to roll the opposite leg out, keeping the hips nice and square, keeping the hips high, pushing through that glute to lift the hips. Exhale to roll out, inhale to roll it in. Good. Keep that T-zone tight. Keep the rib to hip connection so you're not arching your back. Keep the hips nice and square. Nice, keeping the shoulders back and down. Good, you only have 2 to go. Keep the knees straight. You got 1. Can you add the arms? As the ball goes out, you're gonna extend the opposite arm. Exhale, inhale. Really making that glute work. Keep the hips high. You got 3. You got 2. You got 1. Exhale, roll it back down, 1 vertebra at a time. Well done. Okay, we're going to roll it over to the side, continuing on working that glute into clams. Elbow under shoulders, popping the ball under your ribs just to keep that feedback happening. Feet at the base of your mat with your hips and elbow. Good, inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to squeeze the heels together, squeeze the glutes and open into your clam. Inhale to lower. Exhale, inhale, well done. Good, really working those glutes. Keep the ribs to hips so you're not arching your back. Nice. Keep the hips stacked so the top hip isn't rolling back as you open the knee. Good, keep the rib to hip connection. Let's go 1 more. And we're adding on. Good. Inhale to open. Exhale, extend the leg long in line with the body. Knee stays facing forward. Inhale and exhale. Keep pushing that top hip away, firing up these outer glutes. Remember, anytime you need, you can lay down on the mat, resting your head on your arm. Just remember, keeping the hips stacked. Good. Inhale to open. Exhale to extend, no lower than hip height. Inhale, exhale. Remember, firing up these outer glutes. Good. You shouldn't be feeling it much down the side of the leg. It should be all glutes. If you are feeling it down the side, I'd go back to just your clams. Yeah, really strengthening these outer glutes. Good. Nice. You got 1 more. Good. Make sure your ball is not getting squashed. All right, next one, you're holding up. We're doing rectangles. Keep everything locked in. Exhale to go back and up. Inhale to go forward and down. Keep it going. Good. Nothing else should move. Using these glutes. Good. Exhale back and up. Inhale forward and down. Good. Keep everything super still. Back should not be arching, especially as the leg goes back and up. Good. Ribs are staying to hips, shoulders are staying back and down. Nice. You got 3. My leg is shaking. You got 2. Good. Make sure your ball is not getting squashed. You got 1. And bring it back in. Well done. Are you feeling your glutes? Nice work. Okay, laying all the way down. Resting your head onto your arm. Hips are stacked. Ball behind that bottom knee. Same position. Exhale, you're going to lift the leg in line with the bottom. Inhale to lower. Make sure your T-zone is tight. Squeezing on the ball slightly. I think I have misplaced my ball a little bit. So exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Really firing up these outer glutes. Make sure your shoulders are pulling back down. Ribs are to hips. Gap between the waist and the floor. Pushing that top hip away. Good. Excellent. Not here for many. Nice work. Nice, you got a few to go. Nice, nice. Let's go one more. Excellent, and lower. Grabbing the ball, bringing the legs up 90 degrees. So then 90 degrees, 90 degrees again. Squeezing the heels together. Exhale to open, inhale to release. Exhale to open, inhale to release. Exhale, inhale to release. Exhale, good. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Try not to rest the knee on the ground. No resting. Keep the tension in the glutes. Good. Nice, you got 3 to go. You got 2. And 1. Are you feeling those glutes? I definitely am. All right, keeping that top knee where it is, but popping the ball underneath and extending the bottom leg long. Good. Inhale, T-zone. Hips are stacked. Exhale, lifting the leg. Inhale to lower. Beautiful. Good. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. Keeping the hips stacked. Gap between the waist and the floor. Working that inner thigh. I know it takes a while to kick in. Good. Nice. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 2 to go. Good. Holding the next one up. Let's draw your tiny little circles, little diamond rings. Good. Tummy is tight. Scoop the T-zone. Hips stay stacked and still. Good. Nothing really moves. Good, good. Lift that leg. Tiny little circles at the top. Good. Reverse your little circles. Good, good. Good. Tiny little circles. Keep the leg lifted, nice and high. Good. You got 5. Shoulders relaxing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Nice work. Okay, going into your double leg lifts. So balls between the ankles, maybe the shins above the ankles. Body is in a nice straight line. Hips are stacked. T-zone is tight. And we're going to exhale, squeeze the side of the waist, lifting the legs, losing that gap between the waist and the floor. Inhale to release. Good. Keep it going. Using the side waist to lift the legs. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale. Inhale. That's it. Really using the waist. Keep the rib deep connection. The back should not be arching. Good. Keeping the hips stacked. Remember, if the hips roll back, you'll probably feel the hip flexors. If your hips roll forward, you'll probably feel the lower back more than you should. You are using the quadratus lumborum, these lower back muscles slightly, but you should really be focusing on the side of the waist muscles. Good. To make it harder, you can lift higher. Just make sure you're not using your upper body. Keep the form. Good. Okay, next one, holding up the top. You're going to beat that bottom leg up into the ball using the inner thigh. Keep the legs lifted. Good. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Are you feeling your inner thighs? I am. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keep the legs lifted. Use the side of the waist. Exhale. Inhale. Shoulders are staying back and down. Chin is tucked in. Nice straight line. Good. 2 more beats. 1 more. And lower. Beautiful. We're going into your scissors. So inhale, T-zone. Exhale, lift. Good. Inhale to roll the top leg forward. Exhale to roll it back. Keep the legs lifted. Keep the side of the waist working. Good. Don't lose your ball. Good. Not many. using the side of the waist. Keep the rib to hip connection. Keep the hips stacked. Lift the legs. Good. You got 4. You got 3. Shoulders stay back and down. You got 2. You got 1. And lower. Beautiful work. Well done. Okay, coming into your side plank, hands under shoulders. Top leg is long. Shoulders are pulling back and down. You can slide the bottom leg out to keep the knee on the ground, or you can slide that bottom leg behind the top. We're not here for long. Ribs to hips, shoulders pulling back and down. Neck, head is in line with the rest of the body. Chin is tucked in. Nice neutral spine. Good. Not here for long. You got 5. You got 4. Good. You got 3. You got 2. You got 1, and lower that bottom leg. Well done. Okay, we are nearly there. I'm going to pop the ball in between the knees, the inner thighs, just above the knees. It is getting dark, so we better get moving. We are going into Pilates push-ups. So hands under your shoulders. We want to draw the chest forward so we have a nice straight line from the knees to the head. You are welcome to come up on the toes and do push-ups on the toes, but I am doing them on my knees. Hands at the edge of the mat. We're going to lower the body down. Inhale for 3, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, drive the body up using the chest. And again, 3 levels down, 1 level up. Good. Squeezing the chest to get up. Good. Excellent. Keep the T-zone scooped, belly flat. And keeping those shoulders back and down. And try not to sag through the spine, so lift. We got 3 to go. You got 2. You got 1. Excellent. We're coming back into a prayer stretch. Just sinking the body back. So heels back onto the bottom, back onto the heels. Lengthening those arms out in front of you. Good. Now coming back to that high plank position. You're going to lock those hands under your shoulders. And again, option is to stay on the knees or up on the toes. We're going to drop down into an elbow plank from here, pausing for a second. Keeping the shoulders back and down, the spine is lifted so you're not sagging. Okay, and we're going to come back into a high plank, keeping the hips nice and still. Good, changing the leading arm, elbow plank. Keeping the hips nice and still, they shouldn't be rocking. Staying for a second, pushing back up, high plank, keeping the shoulders back and down. Really good. We've only got a few of these. Good. Keep changing your leading arm. Good. Let's go. Staying that nice neutral spine. Keeping the hands under the shoulders every time. Keeping the elbows under the shoulders every time. Keeping the control. Good. Hands coming under the shoulders to push up. Good. We got 1 more. Hips stay square. Scoop the belly. Beautiful. Dropping the knees back to your press stretch. Good, good. We are nearly there, don't you worry. We have 1 exercise to go. All right, we're coming into that high plank position. And we are doing your knee taps. So high plank, lock it in. From here, scoop the belly. Squeeze on the ball slightly. And we're going to tap the knees, inhale, exhale to lift. Tap the knees, exhale to lift. Keeping that nice long neutral spine. Good, inhale, exhale. Stay strong. Keep lifting the upper spine. Keep lifting the head, it shouldn't be sagging. Good, nearly there. You got 5. You got 4. Scoop the belly. You got 3. You got 2. You got 1. And you are done. Well done. Okay, just a few stretches to finish. Rolling out that ball. You're going to come into your press stretch with your hands on the ball, sinking your bottom down towards your heels, lengthening out those arms nice and long, keeping the elbows straight but soft. Good. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. See if you can sink into the stretch a little more. Beautiful. Rolling the ball in. We're going into a cat-cow. You can pop the ball to the side, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So inhale, T-zone, exhale, arching the back up, rounding the spine. Inhale to lower, exhale, arching the back up, rounding the spine. Inhale to lower, letting the head come up, eyes to the top of the mat. You don't need to hyperextend the neck. Good. Exhale, rolling the back up, shoulders pulling back and down. Inhale to slowly lower the back, but again, not dumping through the lower back. Keep the rib to hip connection. Keep the eyes to the front of the mat. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands out a little bit further, coming into a high plank, and then send your hips up to the sky, piking them up to a downward dog. Good. You can bend the knees softly, just trying to keep that back in neutral. Good. Chin tucked in, and if you can, straightening the legs as long as you're keeping that back in neutral. Good. Pedaling out one leg at a time if it feels good. Good. Keeping the T-zone tight. Good. Lowering the knees to the ground. Lovely. We're just going to finish it off with a hip flexor stretch, and you're done for today. So tucking the tailbone, arm comes up. You can slightly lunge forward, feeling a stretch down the front of the leg. Good. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, see if you can stretch a little further. If you want to add on to this today, you can also stretch up and over with that arm, as long as your ribs are to hips, and then you'll feel a stretch down the hip flexor and side of the body. Good. Back to center. Let's swap sides. Good. Tucking the tailbone. Good. Slightly lunging forward, feeling a stretch down the front of the leg. Good. It's getting quite dark here. I hope you can still see me. Good. Shoulders relaxing back and down. If you want to add on, arm goes up and over, feeling a lateral side stretch as well. Back to center. Well done today. You are done. I hope you loved today's Pilates Ball full body workout as much as I did, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.